the Indie Basketball Podcast. This is where indie rock meets the NBA's finest. And today on the podcast, I have the guest of the frontman of the punk band, the Flatliners, Chris Cresswell. He is also a member of Hot Water Music, and he's a really massive Raptors fan. Unfortunately, things didn't go his way in recent nights, but we're going to talk about the Raptors, the playoffs, and obviously their new album called Cold World. But first, I want to talk about an album, and one that's actually quite a contrast from tonight's guest. A few weeks ago, Gia Margaret put out her new album, aptly titled Singing. And this is because over the past few years, we've really come to know Gia as this really, talented ambient soundscape creator. But that was really only out of necessity because she simply couldn't sing. She had a kind of vocal injury that really didn't allow her to sing. So she created ambient music, and I'm really a big fan of it, and it helped her blow up a little on TikTok. I know the song Hinoki Wood really got pushed around on social media quite a bit. But before all that, when she could sing, she was a really talented, singer, and she made this sort of indie pop, bedroom pop sound. And it was really delightful because she has such a nice voice. So now with singing, it's such a wonderful return to hearing her voice because she's really putting two and two together. She's combining these worlds. She had such a distinct sound in her kind of ambient atmosphere. But now she brings back some of that indie pop sound, fusing them together really nicely. And normally she has this cozy, dormant sound to her music, but on this new album, tracks like Good Friend, it features this really grooving bass line and really lighter than air vocals, kind of similar to something you might hear from Claro. It's really nice, and it really stands out. It's a really nice album. I really loved her instrumental works, but mostly it's because of that sort of introspective, relaxed instrumentation. So to add her great vocals back into the mix, I'm really loving the album. So yeah, check out Singing by Gia Margaret. But that's the only album I want to talk about today. Let's get to my conversation with Chris. Appreciate you joining, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know this is called indie basketball, but punk rock has always been my first love. So
cool. Awesome.
I'm really excited to have you on, especially it's relevant right now because you seem to be a Raptors fan.
Yeah.
Tough one. I know we'll definitely get into it. I don't want to spoil anything right off the bat.
All right. Okay. Got you.
We'll start off. We'll ease into it. We'll start with some music. And the first thing I love to ask people is I'd love to know what you've been listening to.
Lately, I have been kind of at like going two different directions at once. So I'm Canadian, and there's this incredible band from Canada called the Tragically Hip, who are one of my favorite bands. And they're just like, I don't know, they've been touted as Canada's band and all these kinds of things over the years. They were ubiquitous when I was growing up and really interested in music from a young age. But I've just been like really going back on them now. They put out a really great doc recently, like a 4-part doc that I've watched a couple times, and like going really through the whole discography. I'm reading a book about the band right now. I'm just kind of like obsessed about this band I've loved for years. Again, all of a sudden right now. And then at the same time, I've been getting real into like Afrobeat. And
that's
stuff lately. I know. So I'm going these two different big directions. But yeah, I've just been kind of like, there's this really cool Dorothy Ashby record, Afro Harping. That's like really cool and good, like morning music. I think that is maybe born out of like being at a punk show all the time which is like awesome, and that's my first true love, you know. But it's like I get to be loud and noisy with my friends all the time. So like I don't always listen to loud and noisy music when I'm relaxing or having to
Totally.
concentrate on something,
Yeah.
or just not in the loud and noisy mode. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it's good to have modes. Like, I mean, I know, like I said, this is called indie basketball, but I listen to punk, I listen to emo, I listen to hip hop. You got to have the right mindset to listen to certain things.
absolutely. I mean, there's so much music out there that I think it's kind of a tragedy when you only kind of like stay in one lane. But I also do understand that like the how prevalent and how just accessible the entire music discography essentially now is at everyone's fingertips. That is also very overwhelming for some people.
Yeah.
So I get both sides. I just like I'm just kind of always falling deeper in love with what I do, playing music and just like all that comes with it because there's so much music
Yeah.
that comes with that, you know.
Do you find yourself gravitating more towards comfortable stuff you love and you know, or do you still actively seek out new stuff?
I don't know. I feel like it depends on the day, depends on the week, you know. Like I definitely am the kind of person who listens to the same five or six records over and over again. Like my favorite record last year was Sam Fender's People Watching,
Oh yeah,
and I got into it like a friend showed me that record like a few months after it came out, and actually our friend Matt Snell, who Flats recorded a bunch of our stuff with, he's like a great collaborator of ours and just like awesome friend. And he showed me that Sam Fender record, and I was like, damn, who is this? And I just like for months, dude, would listen to that record. It made mowing the lawn better at home. It made
yeah,
like the headphone jamming in the van with everyone when everyone's kind of doing their own thing for a couple hours on the drive. Like it made that cool. Everything. It made looking out the window of a van fun and just I don't know everything. Every scenario I could find myself being like, this is kind of better with the Sam
yeah,
Fender record. And
for
then
sure.
there's again, like I said, there's so much music to kind of keep up on, and like not only punk and hardcore and all the kind of subgenres that fall under those umbrellas, but like every genre. There's just like so much of it now. It's kind of never been easier to at least have your music be accessible to people, right? I won't say it's never been easier to be in a band, but I think it's never been easier to like get your music out there, which I love.
Sure.
So that's like I'm definitely always trying to like keep up on what's going
Yeah.
on, but it's man, it's tough, dude. There's so
Yeah,
much.
it is. It is because it's that decision paralysis sort of
Yeah,
thing where it's like I
yeah,
don't. It's like when you're on Netflix and you just scroll forever trying to figure out what to watch, and then you're
yeah.
just like, I'm just gonna put on the show I've seen 8 times already.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm gonna watch season 4 of The Simpsons again for like the 900th time
Good
and just
choice.
quote
Good
the
choice.
whole yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, and I definitely feel that as well. So that's why I try and with this whole thing, I try and do the work for people and try and discover new bands and
Totally.
get more people into that stuff.
No,
So
that's
I
awesome.
know it's a struggle out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so with you coming on, I know Flatliners have a new album coming out this week, and you've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know, like, how do you feel that maybe the genre of punk has changed since you first started that band?
Good question. I think just in terms of like my frame of reference to it all and like from the kind of like one of the seats in like the Flats vehicle, let's call it, like I feel like fans of what we're doing at least have been like very cool with like riding with us through some musical twists and turns over the years. We
Sure.
started as like a ska punk band back in the
Yeah.
day. We didn't have horns, but it's always been the four of us, the same four members, 24 years in. So we like this is our like high school band that we basically like stuck with, which is kind of crazy to think. And before we started, when we were about 14, 15 years old, we all knew each other for years before that. So we're like childhood friends. We started a high school band years later, and then now years later, even more, we're still on the road and doing the thing together. So it's pretty beautiful when like when you add up all these memories, like music and otherwise, we have together. And I think that it definitely informs our relationship as friends, but it also informs like what we're willing to do musically, I think. And that's kind of like that's a bit of a subconscious decision, I think, the four of ours behalf, because like it's not like we talk about it a lot. Like, let's make this record like
Yeah,
this.
of
Like,
course.
we'll kind of be like, hey, like maybe this record could sound this way, or like a mix reference or something like that for the audio nerds out there. But like, in terms of like the actual songwriting, we just kind of do what feels natural. So, to answer your original question, I feel like we're lucky that our fans have just been kind of like cool with us flipping the script a little bit, right? Ska punk band to like more of a punk band. Then like there's been later records that are like more of like a punk band making like a rock record or like an alternative-ish record maybe. And then now like we put a single out called Pulpit a few weeks ago that's like I would say the weirdest quote unquote song we've ever put out, for lack of a better way of putting it, but it's like just a strange song. But I think it still sounds like us because it's us. And luckily, people have been kind of down with it because, like, it's us. And if they like us, then they're like, I don't know. I feel people are just kind of like, what the hell are these dudes going to do this time? Which is, I don't know if people are actually saying that, but if they are, we love you for that because it's like, it's a really liberating feeling to be in a band and be able to just do whatever the hell we want to do. So, if I can kind of take my viewpoint of like my perspective on all that and kind of apply it to the punk world, I do really think that there's a lot of open-minded people in this genre, like under that umbrella as fans, making music in bands. Um, the door's been kind of kicked wide open, you know what I mean? Which is awesome because you can just do
Definitely.
whatever you want. And I think it sounds a little corny, but you can classify it as punk if it's just like you doing whatever the fuck you want. There's a little
Very
attitude in
true.
it. There's maybe some danger. There's some, just like there's aggression in that music.
Right. I
Just like
mean, the idea of like there's punk music and then there's like the mentality of punk rock, and like that is like anyone
yes,
can technically be punk rock.
that's true. And a lot
Yeah,
of people can be poser punks. You know what I mean? And
for sure.
I'm not here to
For
gatekeep
sure.
anything. Um, but no, I think like it's like I kind of like the definition of punk now. Aside from that, because I think it is attitude. I think it is like you like believing in something and like community and all these things. But like I think when you distill it down, like a lot of genres can like claim those same attributes for their own.
Yeah.
Hip hop can do the same thing,
Hip hop is like
right?
super punk. Yeah.
Yeah, pop music can do the same thing. Hardcore, you can make the argument hardcore and punk are, yeah, they're in the same umbrella, but now hardcore has got a life of its own and it has for years. It's like hardcore kids and hip hop kids are like tastemakers now. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
it's
They're
this,
actually like
yeah,
really like neighbors. They're like
yeah,
so close to each other.
100%. So it's yeah, like I think you can kind of peel those attributes we're saying about punk and apply them elsewhere, but musically I like that it's kind of open ended. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of how it makes you feel. And if it's hitting that attitude that you think is punk, then I guess it's punk. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, so how do you? I'm just curious how you guys started a band when you were teenagers. How do you? And you've all, I'm sure you've all changed in your own ways, like to still not only not want to like get at each other's throats, but like
Yeah.
I'm sure you all have like evolved your taste in music and all these things and potentially started families and things like that. So I'm sure things have changed and woven around. So like how do you still pull it together and not branch out in a million different directions?
It's a good question. I mean, I think really we have branched out in a million different directions, but we've always had this and each like this band and each other to like come back to truly. Because like so our guitar player Scott and I met the first day of kindergarten, right? Our moms were teachers.
Hell
They
yeah.
they met. Yeah, it's pretty adorable. It's
Yeah.
not very punk.
No, I'd say that's super
Is that
punk.
super punk? All right, all
Yeah.
right. The definition grows. I like it. Yeah, we met the first day of kindergarten because our moms were teachers and they'd met at like a teacher conference or something before we started school. So like the first day of school, they were like, "Hey, this is your new friend." We're like, "Cool." And then we years later, like both had shown a love for music, and then we started taking guitar lessons around the same time to start a band. That's this band. This it did go through a couple iterations
Sure.
quickly in school and shit to get to this
Yeah.
point, but then like yeah, like this is where we're at. So, and then our bass player John and I were in the same grade two class. So we met. We were 7 years old when we met, and we walked to. We discovered that day that we lived on the same street. So we walked to school every day together after that for years and years. And then Scott and I, our guitar player Scott and I, went to a summer camp one year, like a music camp, and we met our drummer Paul there. He lived in a different town, The rest of us lived in one Toronto suburb. Paul lived in a different one. So Scott and I are about 12 years old when we meet Paul at this camp. And yeah, dude, it's just like there's so much that happened in our lives together as friends before this band that like you travel together so much over the years. You tour together. Like we're going all over the world playing music we've written together. It's pretty special. But you're in close quarters and like you're up in each other's grill a lot. And like if there's something that has to be said, like it's better just to say it. You know what I mean? Like we're not a band without our, our like debates and arguments and like moments over the years. Like if we were 24 years deep and we had none of those, we would all be, I think, like I don't know. That's just like that's kind of creepy for some reason to me. You got to be human. You got to be as human as you can
Totally.
with your people, and these are our people. So, yeah, I think like that, longevity of our friendship before the band started pops up when there's like maybe a moment on tour where like you're maybe not getting along as well as you did 5 seconds ago, and as well as you will 5 seconds from now. You know what I mean? And you just be like, yo, like it's us. We're childhood homies, and like look what we're doing. It's easy to like go back to the beginning and be like, okay, fuck it, we're good. Like
I know
what are
way
we
too much
talking about?
embarrassing stuff
Yeah,
about you.
well, that's the other thing. Like we know each other very well, so that does mean we know how to push each other's buttons, but it also means that we know exactly like what each other's up to. You know what I mean in their life. Like if it's like family stuff, or if it's I don't know, just like work stuff outside of the band. Like we all have a life outside this band, so it's like all of that. I think helps answer your question of just like how do we kind of keep it together because we've allowed ourselves to kind of like not stray and return but like live our life outside of this and like have this thing to come back to and make it kind of stronger every time. It's cool. And I mean
Yeah, it's great.
it's a lot of fun writing music with your friends and then getting to like go play shows and have people like sing those songs back to you and you'd be like, "Damn," look around the stage, your oldest friends on the planet and be like, damn, we're still doing it.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's like
that's awesome.
it's special. Yeah.
What a feeling. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Um, so with Cold World, coming out this week, I know like singing the way you do can't be like easy on your body. After all these years, how do you feel like you've also evolved in kind of being able to not just destroy your voice, but
Mm.
maybe also evolve how you sing?
I mean, I really do. It's funny we're talking about this on a basketball,
Yeah,
podcast because I really have started to try at least in the last few years to like approach what I do on the road similar to maybe how I feel like an athlete would approach certain things about how they prepare for a game. I know that might sound kind of funny, but it's physical. You know what I mean? Like it's really physical. No matter what instrument you're playing, if you're singing or not, like
yeah.
drums are super physical,
Oh yeah.
bass, guitar, a lot like piano, everything. Like get like a woodwind instrument, a brass instrument, all breath control and all this stuff. Like so much of it starts with breathing. So much of it starts with like I try to eat well. I try to exercise all the time. Like I'm at the age I'm late. I'm in my late 30s now. So for a couple years now, I've been like the guy exercising because I want to be able to still sing at a show and keep my stamina going.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything kind of has stemmed from like what improves my ability to do this because I love doing this. And yeah, I mean like I'm pretty good with like warming up my voice before a show, cooling my voice down after a show, just protecting like that part of the instrument that's like so unpredictable. Like you
Putting
can,
yourself on minutes restrictions.
yeah, 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 exactly, yeah, yeah. I mean, man, it's tough. That part is tough because there's like if minutes restrictions is also like the socializing aspect of being on tour, which is like most of it. It's tough. That part's tough because like man, the socializing takes up 90% of your day. And well, it takes up 23 hours of your day, or well, I don't know, maybe 15 if you're getting 8 hours of sleep every night, which on tour you're not. So let's say it takes
Let's
up.
not do math here.
So like yeah, it's there's a lot of socializing. It's funny like the least amount of your day is taken up by the set you play, but that's the most important part of your day. Just like a basketball player playing a game, like there's a lot of hours that put in
It's very
before and
true.
after that, right? To like play that game. So yeah, I just try to be. I've had my years of like partying hard on the road and all this stuff, and I'm just like kind of mellowed out, and I just like love traveling and doing this with friends, and I'm trying to just like be mindful of the show usually. You know what I mean? So it's screaming like this is fucking dude. It's a lot of fun, and it can be very cathartic, but it's also like it's so gnarly sometimes. Like I should have a prescription with Tylenol, dude, because it's like yeah, yeah, it bounces around your brain pretty good. So just anything to like kind of combat the physical nature of what we do. The live show is pretty physical. We're jumping around, we're rocking out. You know what I mean? So I'm just if you can find that 30 minutes, even if 15, even if you really have to squeak it in, or like hopefully an hour, kind of work out in the morning. It's good for a physical thing. It's good for your brain on tour as well, and all this stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of that helps.
On top of that, now you're making it even harder on yourself because you're a member of Hot Water Music as well,
Yeah.
and you're singing
Yeah.
Hot Water Music too.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, with hot water, it's that's a whole other trip. I mean, it's I've been a fan of that band for years, and now just finding myself having been there with those guys for a handful of years now, it's pretty surreal. The physicality of the live show there is immense. Just as cathartic. It's an awesome experience. Singing wise, though, I'm singing like half the show, so that's
Sure,
kind
yeah, sure.
of I feel you know what I mean. So that's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you kind of come about and like becoming a more of a permanent member of that band?
After I started playing shows with them, I was filling in for Chris Wallard, who is one of the founding members of the band and is still currently in the band. He just no longer tours with the band. I was like out on the road with Hot Water for I want to say a year or so off and on before they were kind of like hitting me up about working on a new album and wanted to hear my thoughts about like being involved with that process. To which I answered no, thank you at first, which I can't believe I did looking back. But like my logic was I don't want to affect this thing I love, this band I love. I don't want to get in there and change anything. I love this band. Like why me? Why would I? Why
I
would
feel like
I
there
be the
is like a
guy?
level of like I know why I like this band. If I come in and I so no longer like it, did I ruin this band?
Kind of, man. Yeah, exactly. And like so much of what Hot Water's done over the years has really informed like a lot of what the Flatliners have done. Like we're all huge fans of this band, and yeah, so like the whole thing was very surreal at first, and it still is. And yeah, that was kind of the moment where it became more permanent. You know, like if they asked me again like a week later, and I was like, yeah, 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 okay, I'd love to. I'd love to make records with you guys.
For sure.
And yeah, but it was the kind of just the initial like playing shows with them happened kind of like Chris Wallard couldn't play a show day of due to some health stuff, and I was like in town. It was this festival in Gainesville, Florida, called the Fest, where our friends run it, and Flats have played it for years, and Hot Water's
Yeah.
that's their home, that's Hot Water's hometown, and
Right,
you
right.
know, so it was like it was just this kind of crazy, um, like fucking just whirlwind of like circumstance. And yeah, they asked me if I could play the show that night, to which I also said no, because that seemed terrifying. And then a few hours later, I was on stage with them, and I'd kind of gone over some songs, and we did it. I blacked
I've
out. I don't remember it, but we did
I've
it.
always wondered like how do you learn songs that fast? Like
Well, I'm a big fan, so like I kind of know where these
sure.
songs go already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with these songs enough that I'm like, I know that after this part comes this part, and I know that like this happens there and there. Truly, like I didn't really ever, I had not like ever tried to like sit down and really play a lot of these songs. The guitar work in that band is very intricate, and like the way Chris and Chuck Reagan both like kind of are like they interweave these parts together. On certain albums, especially, it's pretty tricky to kind of like discern what's happening. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I kind of guessed honestly because on some of the stuff because it was day off, and they were in a pinch, and I was like, shit, I guess I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this. So it worked out. But yeah, I like got on stage and like I remember walking out on stage and I was so nervous, dude, that I just blacked out. Yeah, man, it was a lot. But then I played a show with them the next day in like a secret show at the same festival, and I remember that one, and that was real clear, and like it felt really great. And then it just kind of happened like that for a few weeks, a few months, yeah, up to about a year until it kind of became like more permanent part of my life. And it's beautiful now with the band because Chris Wallard is still involved. He's writing, he's in the studio, he's helping make band decisions and stuff like that. He's just not on the road. So it's him and I, now that I've been afforded the opportunity to make a few records with this band, I get to hang out with him when we do that, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
That's awesome.
it's pretty special. Yeah.
That's great. Well, cool. let's talk basketball.
Okay, all right. It's an
Uh,
emotional time for me right
I
now.
know it's been a roller coaster of 24 hours, but it was a tough loss for the Raps last night.
Tough loss.
Do you have any thoughts on the game?
I do. I mean, okay, so I'll admit that we were in New Jersey last night, in Garwood, New Jersey, at this venue, Crossroads. Awesome spot, and it was the first night of tour with our friends at Wilhelm Scream from New Bedford, Massachusetts, and they're Celtics fans, so they were already, we've joined them on the pain train now, since the Celtics got booted just days before we met up with them. Our other friend's band on the tour is Signals Midwest. They're from Cleveland. So
Yeah, I'm a friend of Max. Yeah,
okay, hell yeah. So
yeah, Max is great.
so we love those guys. We love this band. And like how hilarious is it that the first night of this tour we're finally doing together after being homies for years
Hmm.
is game 7 between the Raps and the Cavs. Oh my God. So anyways, we're like signals go on. I think like I think their set ended like right around like the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. You know what I mean? So they were able to like kind of like they got the show done, and then we're all watching the game upstairs at the venue together and everything. We're able to watch like the first half of the game, and the Raps are dominating. Like it gets close. I mean, it ends in a
Sure,
tie at a
yeah.
half, but like they're coming out swinging. I mean, and then myself and our drummer Paul are big. I mean, the whole band are Raps fans, but him and I are like big Raps fans, and we both brought like little iPads on stage with us to like check in on the score
Yeah,
between
I don't
songs.
blame you.
We made it known with the crowd. We're like, listen, guys, like if we seem a little distracted, like just know this is what's going on, and it's pretty heavy. Man, every time I checked the score after the second half, it was just fucking brutal. It was
Hmm.
just, oh
It's also tough if you're just checking scores
yes.
because you're seeing the number just like that gap grow.
Yes, yes. But that's the thing. I still have not. I'm not ready to go back and watch like the highlights of the second half yet. I want to just remember the first half because I was like,
Yeah, don't
dude,
do
like
it.
I know, man. It was. But I gotta say, I'm proud of the team. Like I love the team. I know it's a young team. Like I wish we had Bi3 in there. You know what I mean? Like I wish he was in there. Like, but you can't help that. That happens. Scotty held it down. I mean, like Mamu held it down. Everyone held it
I
down.
mean,
RJ Barrett with the
RJ.
like, come on, like that's
So what are the odds that
oof,
Raptors get two high bounces like that in iconic game winners?
iconic. I know, beautiful. So okay, that hang on, let me get this right. That was Friday night. So we were in Philly Friday night doing like a rehearsal before the tour, and we played Philly Saturday night. And so we played Philly the night that the 76ers took out the Celtics. And after the show, we played this festival, and we're like hanging with some of the stage tech people, kind of like in charge of the whole, setup, teardown, whatever. And they were like getting a laptop going to try to check in on the end of the 76ers game. And I was like, man, like I love honestly that the 3 of the 4 Eastern series went to a game 7. I
Yeah,
obviously wish
absolutely.
the Raptors won game 7, but
I know.
I think that's good for basketball. I think that's good for the sport. It just
Yeah,
shows
absolutely.
how much competition there is. So I'm talking to one of these stage tech guys about that. And he's trying to get the 76ers game going. And I was kind of like, man, like, you never know. It could be a 76ers Raptors rematch. We're kind of like laughing and smiling about a bunch of stuff. In these couple minutes we're talking, and then he like when I say that he stops and just stone cold looks me in the eye, smile drops from his face, and he just says, "Fuck Kawhi Leonard." I mean, that was a big moment, and that RJ
It
shot on
was.
Friday was a big moment, dude. God damn. And he's from Toronto, you know what I mean? Like that's like
Sure.
beautiful moment. Beautiful moment.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it stings, man, but it's hilarious that we're out with Signals right now. And we made a pact
Right.
before the game. We're like, we're still friends. Whatever happens.
Uh-huh.
But
It'll
man,
be increasingly tougher as they keep playing.
oh dude, I know. But I gotta say, I mean like dude, that I feel like the Raps Cavs matchup, it's a pretty solid matchup. Like
Yeah.
so
It was pretty
close.
even, yeah.
Pretty even, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it stings,
How do
but we'll
you
get there.
how do you feel about like this young Raptors team going forward?
I like it. I mean, like, dude, uh, like CMB was going
Nice.
psycho in the
Yeah.
playoffs, like not playing like a rookie at all, which is, oh my God, amazing to see. I don't know. I like the team. I do. I feel like I don't have a lot of criticism because I feel like if I had a lot of criticism today in particular, it would be in bad taste because I just want to
Yeah,
celebrate all the good
right.
stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If we talked a month from now, I'd probably be like, well, fucking this and that. I don't know, but yeah, I like
At
them.
least you're not like one of the like the radio guys who are like, oh, get rid of them all.
No, I like it, man. I mean, like I mean, I tour all the time, but I was like able to be home when the Raps won the chip in 2019, and that was like so cool. You know what I mean? And since then, it's been like a long kind of way back. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like the makeup of this team kind of feels, it just feels right. It feels strong. I'm
I
sure
don't think a
they're
lot of people thought that the Raptors would even be like this far,
yeah,
like this
no,
year. Even I think people thought
definitely
they were
not.
going to be maybe a play-in team,
Yep,
and
yep.
that's obviously not the case.
Totally. I mean, we have been for the last few years, right? And I mean, I think that it's also it's an interesting thing being a fan of the only Canadian team in the league, right? Because there does just seem to feel like an ocean sometimes between like even just like coverage online of like amazing things that
Sure.
happen in Raptors world versus like the rest of the league. Maybe that's just like the Canadian chip on our shoulder, being fans of the Canadian team in the league. I don't know, but it is usually like it feels usually like people kind of count the Raps out, partly because of that for some reason. Same with the Blue Jays, with
I guess, yeah. I
right?
guess on that note, I know there used to be a team in Vancouver, but like, if there was a new team to come into Canada, how do you think? Because everyone in Canada roots for the Raptors. Like, do you think they would be like, all right, time to split up, or
Man,
would it be hard to get someone to follow a new team?
I think it would be tough if it was anywhere except Montreal. I think Montreal would have. There's so many players coming out of Montreal. You know what I mean? And just Quebec in general. That like I feel like, and there's this like there's a really like strong kind of like fabric of just like I don't want to say pride because it feels like kind of an ugly word, but like I don't know. There's like people in the people of Quebec like really support like what's happening in Quebec. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. I mean, I feel like if it was Vancouver again, people would be psyched, but like yeah, like I feel like a lot of people would still be rooting for the Raptors. I
Yeah,
really wonder. And like I
I'm
don't know
sure.
what other city would. I don't think Regina, is getting a basketball team. So I
Yeah,
think it's Montreal or Vancouver, and
yeah.
Montreal would go wild. Yeah,
I don't think
I
I
would
don't
love to
think
see that.
Calgary cares much for basketball.
No, and even if they do, like I feel like it's just like that's not like on a global scale for
Yeah,
some reason. People
right.
aren't like, yo, let's go to Calgary. I don't know. We love it there for shows. If people are listening, we
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Calgary. Okay, no disrespect. We're talking basketball right now. Yeah, I think like I do wonder about that sometimes. You probably have a lot of fans that probably root for two teams. Yeah, like at first.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, I Montreal needs to get something
it would be
because
killer. Yeah.
Expos, I'm sure, are
Yep.
sorely missed.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely, man.
And there's all the resources there to have a professional sports team. So
Without a doubt. And it's just like a cultural epicenter of Canada. You know what I mean? Like it's
I
like
love that city. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like I don't know anyone who's ever been to Montreal and been like, it sucks there. Aside from maybe the bands I know who've gotten like their vans broken into there, which happens a lot. That sucks. But like Philly's like that too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like there
true.
are other places like that. Yeah.
Do you know the band Gulfer?
No, I don't think so.
I've had the singer and guitarist in the band. They're like
Okay.
an emo band. They're from
Cool.
Montreal.
Okay.
And yeah, he concurred that, like he's a Raptors fan, but you would quickly stick with the Montreal team if it was the thing.
Yeah, I gotta check that band out. No, I mean
Yeah,
it's I do really wonder. Like, there's always been kind of the like whispers over the years with. I mean, there's a lot of Canadian hockey teams, obviously, but Toronto being such a huge city, such a huge market for the sport, and just in general, like so densely populated with people for hockey, it's similar to a New York for
hmm
or like Chicago with like two baseball teams and stuff like that. Like it's like it could there have been whispers over the years, I mean among Leafs fans at least, of like there could be another team. And I always really wonder about that too. Like how do you sports are such a diehard thing if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
into it that like yeah,
You're,
if
you're
you're
getting a W team.
yeah, dude, I'm stoked. It's gonna
That'll
be
be cool.
great. The
That'll be
tempo.
really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's really shocking how many teams they're adding in such a short time.
Yeah, how many do they add this season?
Two this season, I believe, and I think there's a total of like six planned, including the two from they just
For
added.
like the next few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I think
lot.
they're adding like 2 every year.
I mean, that's wild. But you know what? I hope that means it shows people are like they're into it. Like
I think
they
so. Yeah,
should
I
be.
mean,
Yeah.
people have definitely shown a
Yeah.
lot more interest.
I
So
love it. I love it. I can't wait to go to a game. There's
yeah.
also like I got tickets to see the Canada's men's team
Oh,
do
nice.
like one of the qualifier games
Yeah.
in Canada coming up in the summer. So that'll be cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Um, so with the Raps, I guess who is your is would you say Scotty Barnes is like your favorite player right now?
Currently on the team, I mean, after those playoffs, dude, it might be CMB. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he was killing it. I mean, everyone that was killing it. But I mean,
RJ does
that
seem like
was
a bit of a national treasure.
yes. I was gonna say like if it's like who surprised me, CMB, who kind of like really stuck to his guns and like was the player you wanted him to be, Scotty Barnes, and
Yeah.
who had the moment,
Hmm.
RJ. You know what I mean?
For
And the
sure.
hometown hero is huge. So yeah, it's hard to play favorites. You know what I mean?
So growing up, who was like the player that hooked you? Like what was like the era of basketball that kind of got you into it?
I mean, it was Vince Carter for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be, right? I mean, it was Air Canada, dude. It was
Hmm.
he was just the superstar. I mean, my dad played hockey. That's such a Freudian slip for a Canadian.
That's
Hilarious. Oh
how
shit.
Canadian
You
of
got
you.
it. My my dad played basketball in high school and in university. He was a guard, you know what I mean? He loved basketball. We had a hoop at home for a certain run of years there. Yeah, my brother and I always like liked basketball, but it was kind of weird. Like we went the other way with it because we were in like because my dad played basketball. We were kind of like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like we were into like
Yeah.
skateboarding. We skated a lot as
Right. Of
kids and
course.
whatever. But then like yeah, around like Vince Carter and like just Toronto getting a team, like that
Yeah.
was
True.
that was huge. Took a little bit to get Vince Carter there after the first couple seasons, but it was like that was a huge deal, dude.
Sure.
And we
To
would
have
we
T
would
Mac and Vince Carter at the same
I
time.
mean, true. It wasn't just Vince. That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was kind of the era. And then just it's funny. It's a funny thing, like starting to tour from such a young age. Um, like similar to how I kind of like as a Canadian, I kind of let hockey go early on because I played hockey as a kid before we started this band. I kind of felt like for a long time I got hockey like out of my system in a way. You know what I mean? But then like years later, Scott and John from the band like really become these massive hockey fans. So while we're on the road, if there's a game and we have time to watch it, we'll watch it. Um, Similar thing kind of happened with basketball where it's hard to like follow this kind of stuff like when you're like a teenager,
True.
early days of the internet,
Yeah.
like starting to tour like I don't know, it's just a whole different world back then. We started touring out of high school in like the early like thousands, you know what I mean? It was kind of hard to like get a grip on what was going on. But then like years later, I work at this bar in Toronto, Sneaky D's, for like 10 years. But it's like it's not a sports bar, but there's like a lot of TVs and sports are always on. You know what I mean? And so like that became a huge part of being able to like reconnect with like actively watching the sport. And then man, a really good friend of the band's who was our merch guy for a while and then like kind of graduated up to being our tour manager for a while. Rory Sylvester, he's like a massive basketball guy. And he was like having him on the road with us when we're getting to the point where it's easier to follow stuff and you got the app on your phone and all that. You know what I mean? All like we're trickling into the age of like being able to just really like follow it as closely as you want to. Like he was there with just like constant access and updates. So
Right.
that was cool. And then
That's amazing.
years after that, you roll right into Rory and I worked at Sneaky D's together actually, and we bartended the night like together at Sneaky D's the night that the Raps won the championship. We had the game on, and it was cool, and it was you know what I mean. So it was a cool, yeah, pretty full circle moment. It was great.
Yeah. Jurassic Park out
Oh
there.
man, it was going wild. So bars in Toronto, at this point, I think it was like you had to like, it was only like summer months. Like bars would stay up until like 4 a.m. Right? So like this was like fresh into like those summer months of 4 a.m. last call and
People
like,
ready to
oh my
just shed the
god,
winter.
oh my god, oh exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we went out after the game and just like stayed out all night. We like walked, like we kind of like we each kind of like we separated at one point. We each kind of had our own experiences, like walking through like Toronto's version of Times Square kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where like a lot of people congregated to like celebrate and stuff, and it was just like so gnarly. Like the energy in any city after your team wins that championship is like absolutely electric. And I gotta say, man, when it's like your team is the country's team, it's maybe a little different. That was gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, definitely. Yeah, and I guess too with like, I'm curious if there's any moments where like music and basketball kind of overlapped for you, other than obviously you tour with people and you talk basketball with other players. Are there any other moments you can think of where like kind of music and basketball kind of overlap?
Hmm. I mean, aside from like, yeah, just friends on the road and like chatting about basketball and stuff, and it is a great unifier. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
especially while you're traveling, to just even if it's like the Flats singles Midwest thing last night of just like we're
true,
rivals tonight.
true,
We're still watching the game together.
very
No, I
true.
don't know. I mean, like it's not much comes to mind in terms of, you know what I mean? I had the Space Jam soundtrack growing up. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
oh
saying? Like
yeah,
that was, yeah, that was cool.
I had that as well.
But the Monstars were pretty cool. But aside from that,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
All right,
I don't know.
so
Being Canadian, people always are kind of more thinking like we're all big hockey guys,
yeah,
which like
yeah,
some of us are. It's
sure.
not like
Why
any
not
of us
both?
like detest the sport, but it's exactly
Yeah.
why not both? Yeah,
So a fun little question I have is I wanted to know if you could like if the Flatliners were an NBA player,
yeah.
who would they be?
Oh man. Okay. Question. Dennis Rodman, just because the four of us are such different people. You know what I mean? But like together we are greater than the sum of our parts. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And like that guy just contains multitudes, dude.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
never know who you're gonna
You
get.
never know. You never know. And he's a badass. And he's just like, yeah, yeah, Dennis Rodman's the first one that comes to mind for sure.
I love that. Um, cool. So the last thing I like to do is a little more kind of interactive thing. It's called Build a Band. I would love to hear you try and make a band made up entirely of NBA players. So
Yes.
assign them instruments. Like, what's their
Yes.
cohesive sound? What's their vibe?
Okay. Okay, I like this. Okay, what do we want to start with? We want to start with okay, we'll start with bass. KD is playing bass.
KD.
He's smooth.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
smooth, dude. He's a smooth operator. He's just like got a good rhythm. You know what I mean? Like he's never working too hard. Or he never looks like he's working too hard, I should say. But he's
Sure.
just like he is secret weapon. Well, not so secret weapon. But you know what I'm saying? Just like the way he operates on the floor, I feel like other court is just like I don't know. He seems like a foundational element to the band, and the
Sure.
and the bass is the unsung hero in every band.
It's very true.
Unsung hero.
I'll be curious to see who else you pick because I want to make sure that chemistry
I
is lined
know.
up there.
Okay, I know. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking more of like who on the court represents like what instrument and what you want from that instrument on the stage. So the chemistry and the positions might not really add up here. I don't know.
Positions don't matter.
Positions
You
don't
don't
matter?
need to
Okay.
have
All
like
right, all right.
a
Okay,
one
got
for
you.
every position or
Okay.
anything.
So we got bass. Um, let's do guitars next. I'm going Scotty and RJ for guitar.
Yeah.
I need at least one Raptor on.
And that that is gonna give you that chemistry right back right
Yep,
there.
there you go. There you go. And I mean like okay, so you want in the clutch, you want these guys you can rely on. Those are two guys you can rely on. And if you got a guitar solo coming up in a song, you're going to want someone you can rely on. You know what I mean? Just like the game-winning shot. You know what I mean? So I think Scotty
Totally.
and RJ are both
I could see
both
them
worthy.
like they're so in sync that they can have these like harmonies of
Oh
like
yeah.
beats playing off of each other.
They're gonna do it by accident and like look at each
Yeah.
other from across stage, like look at that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Drums. Drums is. I mean the drums are like they're directing everything. You know what I mean? Absolutely foundational, absolutely integral. So you need someone you can rely on. You're only as good as your drummer. That's the truth. Um, I'm very fortunate to be able to play with two fantastic drummers, Paul and George. um, and okay, but I also feel like every band has the member that kind of gets like ragged on a little more than others. And like for some reason I feel like it's like usually the drummer. So, okay, so I'm going SGA on drums. Yes, because foundational, integral, you know what I mean? But he also can take a foul and I mean I know he's maybe sometimes he's doing maybe the fouls are being called in his favor sometimes too. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
willing
a
to
little
say it.
bit.
I'm willing to say it. But, I think like he's willing to like kind of get a little dirty sometimes, like or just be subjected to
Yeah,
the dirt
sure.
to get his team where they need to be. You know what I mean? And
I
I got
feel
another
like if
Canadian
he,
there.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like if he gets like kind of ragged on by the rest of the band, he's gonna like do a little bit of sulking.
Hmm.
He's gonna pout a little bit, but then he'll
Yeah.
get right back to it.
What happened last week? It was they gave him like a water. They like gave him a water bath like after the game when he was getting interviewed, but it was like really long. It was like an
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
bottle of water, and he looked pissed.
yeah.
He
There
looked
was also a
pissed.
thing I think earlier this season where he had just had his rose done, and like someone poured water on him. He was so pissed.
Man.
Like, why did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I love the Thunder's post game interviews are the best.
Oh yeah,
I mean, no secret, but they're the best in the league. They're just
it's
you can see that those dudes are friends. You know?
absolutely,
Yeah,
and that's why I know a lot of people have really turned on the Thunder,
I know.
mostly because of the whole like foul
Yeah,
drawing and Lou Dort playing a little dirty, but like
yeah,
the bond they have and that the post game interviews and all that. It's like that's why I like them. They're
me
just a
too.
bunch of young dudes who are having fun together.
Yep, I want to believe in that, like that they're just like that off the court as well.
Yeah,
I feel like they are, which I love.
totally.
They feel like a band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
My office. I'm in Chicago, and my office is literally half a block away from the hotel where all the sports teams stay
No
every time
way.
they come in. So
Whoa.
when I walk to lunch, I usually see the bus pulling up. And I saw the
Wow.
Thunder like a couple weeks ago.
Hell yeah. Keep the
They're
water
all
bottle ready, dude. The look on his face was, oh man, he was pissed.
yeah.
He was pissed.
All
Okay,
right.
so we
We
got
have
guitars,
SGA
we
on
got bass, we
drums.
got drums, vocals. Okay. You're gonna need someone who, and my frame of reference is obviously like a punk band, right? Doesn't have to just be a punk band, but like that's the energy I'm going with.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I know best. So you're gonna want someone who's like good to get in the crowd, in the paint, if you will, at the show, right? You're also gonna want someone who is passionate about what they do, clearly motivated, driven, really good at what they do. They're fronting the band.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? It's unfortunately because sometimes there's really talented members in the band, but people just watch the singer. I mean, I don't know why that is, but it happens, and I have benefited from this for years.
Sure.
And and okay, so you want all that, right? But you also want someone who like looks cool and like looks like they don't care. It's Jokic, dude.
See, okay, I thought that at first, but then you talked about caring.
I mean, he cares because he's good. Like
That's true.
that's what I'm saying. Like I think his
He's
level
like, I
of
have a
care.
job to do.
He has a job to do. He has a goal to win the game, to fucking throw up that circus shot from the logo or from like his end, you know what I mean, and get it in. He's just like he's incredible, and I know that it's like I mean the the lackadaisical approach and his just like aversion to media almost and stuff is like hilarious and very well documented.
Very
Like
punk rock.
very punk rock, exactly, dude. And I think he's just like he obviously is so good at what he does, but he seems like he doesn't give a shit, and
He's
that's
kind of Johnny
cool.
Rotten, dude.
Yeah, dude. And he's just like no one's gonna fuck with that guy.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean unless
That's
you're well
awesome.
McDaniel's. I mean I don't know.
Jaden McDaniels
Some
will
people will.
fuck with him. Yeah.
Some people will, but most people
It
won't.
was it was very funny to see like people also turn on Jokic
I
now.
know.
Like and like that he's very all of a sudden he's like a fallible player and
Yeah,
because he used to be like this perfect
true.
ideological basketball player and like there was no flaw to his game and now he lost and
Yeah.
he got shut down by Rudy Gobert, which
He
is
did get shut down, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm like,
he's still amazing.
he's amazing. I don't know. I'm not like a sports fan in terms of like, yeah, the guy like you were saying earlier, like get rid of them all, da da da. Like I feel like it's a funny thing, and I don't mean to make the comparison again in like a true way, but like there is a lot there are a lot of similarities between like being in a band and being on a team. You know what I mean? And like
Mm-hmm.
the travel and like
Yeah.
what you put your body through, and it's mental as well, and all this
Right.
stuff. So I don't know.
Chemistry, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, all that stuff. So I kind of like, I don't know. I look at that stuff. I'm fascinated by like that group mentality of like you're stronger together.
Yeah.
Even if you're the greatest in the world at what you do, you're still a human being that can have a terrible day,
For sure.
or like choke. You can just choke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can try to hit a high note on stage and be like, okay, I didn't hit that one.
Hey, we've
It
all had a
happens.
bad day at the job.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like yeah, that's my team. Those are my reasons. What do you think of the chemistry?
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I feel like the energy in there is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
I because I think the balance of you got Jokic and Durant who are the kind of like serious people,
Hmm.
but then you have Scotty and RJ who are just like
Yeah.
smiles.
Yeah, dude.
And Shea is kind of a wild card. So
He's, like
it's
a
a
bit
fun
of a
balance.
not. I don't want to say prima donna. It's not that, but he's like kind of got like there's just like a star quality to him.
Yeah,
But he's the drummer, dude.
he's always plotting his next project.
Yes. Oh, dude. SGA as the drummer of this band has many side projects.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Or he's like that guy that plays drums in every band in town.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
definitely. Love that. All right, man. Well, that's all I got. I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
This was a blast. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you can watch the rest of the playoffs without wincing, but
I will. I will say that I wish the Raps went farther, obviously, but like, I mean, fuck the Cavaliers. But
so who do you want then?
well, I feel like I want Pistons Lakers in the final.
What,
And
LeBron last hurrah?
yeah, man, I just feel like I know people hate on it and whatever, but like again, maybe I'm coming from it from a different angle, but like I think that's if he gets to the finals with his son on the team, that's beautiful, dude. Like set aside your fandom for your team. If they get knocked out, like go for humanity here. This is
Yeah.
beautiful.
And then selfishly, I want to see LeBron versus Wemby.
I mean, that
Just
would
like,
be yeah,
that
yeah.
would be such a good
Yeah.
handing of the torch, passing of
Totally,
the torch.
totally. And with Detroit, man, like I was rooting for them in that series the whole time because just for them to go from what like one of the worst records in history to number one in the East, that's insane. So I
I'm
don't know.
pulling for Pistons Spurs finals.
Cool,
That's
cool.
kind of what I want. But
I mean,
I agree on the LeBron element.
it would just
would
be,
cool.
it would be cool.
People would watch. For
Oh
sure.
yeah. I mean, the other thing too though is like I do love
Lakers Cavs would be interesting.
Lakers
though.
Cavs would be interesting, and I do love Minnesota as well. They're just like
Yeah.
scrappy and just like I just feel like they're a pretty punk team. It feels like
Because they're like hurt. They're hurting.
I know,
and
it's
like
true.
I hope they can keep it up. Or
Me
I don't
too.
even know if Ant can come back, but
Yeah, yeah, me too. So basically, I mean, anyone except the Cavs. I know there's a bit of solace sometimes when like you get beat by the team. You know what I mean? Like by who wins the whole thing, but nah,
yeah,
it's too soon.
I get it.
It's too soon.
All right, man. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much, Chris, for jumping on the podcast. Make sure you check out the new Flatliners album called Cold World. It is out this week. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone who supports us. If you want to help support indie basketball, we're at patreon.com/indiebasketball. I keep saying it, but half court sessions are starting to cook up. I'm starting to book some things. It's going to be a really good year for half court sessions. So if you can support on Patreon, that money goes directly to making those. Yeah, and any help is amazing. You're going to get playlists. You're going to get discounts on our merch. But most importantly, I think you get to help us keep doing this. Keep doing this podcast. Keep doing half court sessions. That's really all I care about. So once again, if you can support, we're at patreon.com/indiebasketball. Otherwise, make sure you follow us on social. We're at Indie Basketball on Instagram, Blue Sky. Join our Discord. Join the conversation. Fun group of people over there. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next time.